back together talking about who we need, who we want, and who we could let go off of this Georgia football team. Some interesting conversations are sure to happen next on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Daniel and Clint back together again. Like it's so good because it is. It's far better. If one is good, why not add another? Two is better than one.
You'd love to see it.
Break me off a piece of that fancy feast. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. More on them in a moment, but they are the official sportsbook of Locked On podcast.
Sure
On Bulldogs. Thanks for making us your first listen. We appreciate you and being part of the 199. You guys shout us out each time in the comments, and we love it. We will find you and we will appreciate you because you are why we do this podcast. The loyal third segment listeners. Today, as Daniel hinted, not just intimated, but said straight out, hey, we have plenty of talent, but if we had to choose somebody to start, somebody to bench, and somebody to cut from this team, it's a threefold. It's a tripod.
Triangle, the strongest shape found in nature. So that's what we like to do.
You prove me wrong.
Looking for a third co-host, by the way. If you'd like to put in your applications, that's a joke. That is a joke. We are not. We are not doing that. We actually do get several applications, though we've never asked for them. But we are not doing that. We love you all.
Segment for later on this off season. Trial and error. Co-host, just bring on rando and say you got 30 minutes to prove your case. Go.
Should we just call it the Chris Marler show? Oh no. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Love you, love you. Mean it. All right. Start, bench, cut. The way the game works is simple. Clint and I will alternate giving each other three names of three current Georgia Bulldog football players. And we have to decide one of them must be a starter on this year's football team, regardless of their talent or the position needs in front of them. One of them must be benched on this team, as in can play but can't start. And the other must be cut, let go from the team. You do not have any choices in the matter. And so we must decide. Clint, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to throw three names to you, and they are three wide receivers. Okay. And so we're going to go to the wide receiver room. I think we would agree a position of great depth. Would we not on the roster?
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. We have depth in this position.
But why not say it again? Make it an even 1,001. I'm going to give you three names of some guys that are not expected necessarily, maybe save for one, to be heavy contributors to this year's team.
Okay.
But guys that maybe could be some under the radar talents.
Okay. I feel you. Picking you up.
Here are the names. Ready? Name number one, Nitro Tuggle. Wide receiver, freshman, coming in, 6'1", highly touted guy that we're pretty excited about.
We're very excited about.
Name number two, Michael Jackson III, transfer, wide receiver. He is a senior coming in from the University of Southern California, the actual USC. Name number three, Bulldog fans know him. Bulldog fans seemingly love him. Arian Smith. Oof. I don't need to tell you anything. I don't need to say anything about Arian Smith. I feel like everything that needs to be said is already said in your facial expression if you're watching on YouTube. By the way, if you're listening on audio, head on over to the YouTube and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, head on over to the audio podcast and subscribe for us. That helps us out a bunch. Clint, Nitro Tuggle, Michael Jackson III, Arian Smith, start, bench, cut, go.
Look, straight out of the gate, the easiest decision in the entire world for me.
No, he's
Arian Smith. Bye-bye. See ya. I don't know where you're going, but it's called the transfer portal. It's gross. It's hurt people. I am hurt by Arian Smith. I will come out and say it. I have gotten excited too many times. I have texted Daniel. He's open.
This
He's open 40 yards down the field, only to then follow up with a text message that I cannot repeat on this podcast.
No, this is a self-preservation type of cut. It's not that he's the worst player. It's that he causes you the most digestive issues.
The bucket comes out quite a bit when we have to deal with Aaron Smith. Talented, speedy, healthy, all the things that you want to throw out, I disregard them all because I can't do it anymore. Okay.
So now you've cut Arian Smith, the by far the most experienced of the 3 wide receivers that we just named.
All the snaps. We have 3 players listed. Yeah. Name one who has taken more snaps than Oh, you can't because the rest of them haven't played.
They've taken 0 snaps for an SEC team. All right. Now we've got Michael Jackson III, a very experienced wide receiver from USC, not a super productive career. And you've got the freshman, Nitro Tuggle. You got to start one. You got to bench one. Where are we going here?
Fool me once, shame on me. Okay. I'm not speed from a shifty wide receiver that's going to come in real young and open up the top of the offense. Michael Jackson III, I don't know what your game is exactly, but I want you.
Sounds like you think he's trying to con you. I don't know what your game is, Michael Jackson III. I don't know what you're up to.
I haven't seen you in a uniform for an extended period of time. You were coming from USC, the supposed offensive juggernaut that anybody can succeed in, except for, actual people who go get developed in the NFL. Rumor has it, the catch radius and the catchability and what he has shown, although a tiny sample size.
Sure.
Sounds exciting. This is not an anti-Tuggle. This is if I had to choose experience, he has had more years in a system. And if I'm looking at this Georgia offense, I just need somebody who's going to give Carson Beck experienced catchability on the offense because he is going to be able to throw people open more often than they're about to get open.
I don't hate it.
I believe Carson Beck's. So Michael Jackson III, start, Tuggle, bench, and Arian Smith. How's North Dakota?
Come on now. Somebody's gonna pick up Arian Smith. I don't hate it. I would have probably.
Would you have sat Arian? Go ahead. No, you look straight to the camera. Thank you.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
Thank you.
I wouldn't have. We got more star bench cut right after these.
But these are, in fact, FanDuel. FanDuel's fantastic. You should know them. Daniel and I love them. They're the official Locked On Sports book and Locked On Bulldogs. I love sports. I love them so much. I never want them to stop. That's true. As playoffs wind down, we get fewer games, and sports aren't sportsing like I want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up bets that I'm in the mood for. It's like Christmas, a personal Christmas. Every single
There's
day.
Always sports. Wimbledon's coming up, y'all. I mean, there's plenty of things you can bet on FanDuel.
Say we won't because we already have. So
say you don't take a flyer on Wimbledon, the Open Championship coming up. Act like I'm not betting on these things.
This summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a bonus bet of daily. This is just in. Hold on. All summer long.
I'm sorry. Are we getting news?
What? Well, I'm here to tell you, you're going to get a boost and a bonus every single time you sign up on FanDuel, no matter what it is, every single day. Head on over there right now. FanDuel.com/lockedon. Start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Daniel hit us with the wide receivers. I'm going to hit you with somebody else on the offensive side. We're going to stay offense. Daniel, you went with some younger dudes. And Daniel, I'm going straight for the jugular on different starters on offense. We've done the position groups.
Okay. No. I like it.
We've done skill. I'm just gonna go right after it. Okay.
Why would you don't beat around the bush, Clint?
Ernest Green, left tackle.
Yeah.
Dylan Bell, wide receiver.
Okay.
Xavier Truss, right tackle.
Okay. This is, to me, fairly straightforward. And I think it would be even more straightforward for you, but maybe a little bit more difficult for me, but I think still very straightforward. And here's my line of thinking.
Okay, give it to me.
When you look for a starter, what you're looking for in this game is not talent. They're all talented players.
Very.
You're looking for irreplaceability. That's the thing that you're looking for. And there's only one guy on that list that has an irreplaceability to him, and that is the big hog on the left side, Ernest Green. He is, to me, the most irreplaceable offensive lineman in this unit, and certainly the most irreplaceable of the three that you just named. Now, so I'm going to start Ernest Green, and Carson Beck is going to buy me a nice dinner for it because he's very grateful that I chose to start the all-world left tackle that's going to play himself right into the first round.
I was just going to say, many already mock drafts are showing their stupidity out by not having Ernest Green.
This young man going to play himself right into the first round. I'm not worried about it at all.
Nope.
So Carson Beck is happy.
Okay.
Now I'm going to make Carson Beck even happier, and I'm going to leave Dylan Bell on this team. I'm going to put him on the bench because here's my thinking here. When you go between bench and cut, what you're looking for is who can provide the most value from the bench. Neither of them are starting.
No. Dylan
Bell, we've said, a starting wide receiver means little to nothing. Yeah, sure. Let's start Ra Thomas instead of Dylan Bell. Oh, by the way, did we have a huge drop-off in talent? No, we didn't have a huge drop-off in talent because this just in. All the receivers in that room, very talented. But second series of the game, third series of the game, crunch time, down the stretch, we got Dylan Bell. We slide him right in there. We're feeling great about it. We've made much on this podcast. We got 6 offensive linemen playing 5 spots. Now, tackle is certainly a premium position. And so it's not anything for somebody just to slide over to that left side, to that right side. And I still think in this scenario, when I cut Xavier Truss, which I'm a Xavier Truss fan.
He is.
When I cut Xavier Truss, I still think we're going to have 6 offensive linemen for 5 spots because I think we're going to slide Monroe Freeling in there instead of, because we got Dylan Fairchild, we got Micah Morris, we got Tate Ratledge, really 3 guards. Now I know you could say maybe Dylan Fairchild could slide out. He could play right tackle. I'm not saying he can't, but I really like Monroe Freeling's game. I really think he's going to be a quality offensive tackle. And I think you might see him get some run this year, even with a healthy Ernest Green and Xavier Truss. I think you might see Monroe Freeling get some run anyway. And so I pop him in there, and we still have 6 for 5 spots. And I feel okay about our offensive line situation, but that's where I would go.
See, this is really interesting. I was trying to bait you. That begs the question of when we talk about the depth at wide receiver that people have commented on so much. Is that really telling if you can't let Dylan Bell go, that our most experienced tackle on the team has to go, and we're going to risk somebody on a right tackle because we think that wide receiver production can't be replicated any longer? It's an interesting thing for you because I was trying to even convince myself. It's easy for me because Xavier Truss and Arian Smith share a room in my proverbial,
which is unfair. Xavier Truss has never dropped a deep ball that's hit him in the hands. Never, not one time.
Okay. Yeah, he just got his behind whooped like a wet noodle by Texas all game long. I haven't forgiven him since. So
didn't notice.
So I think for me, it is a little, but at the same time, can we see a situation in which Dylan Bell, to me, he's my favorite wide receiver on this team. I think he's the most talented wide receiver on this team.
Yeah.
They have different abilities, I should say. But man, we're losing a very experienced tackle and placing them in with people that we haven't seen a great amount of tape on on that
You're not
right
wrong.
tackle. So it's
You're not wrong. But I can't lose Dylan Bell because as deep as I think this wide receiver room is, Clint, I think there are certain positions that it definitely does not have a ton of depth. And that Dylan Bell spot is one of them. Now, if you said I'm going to take a slot receiver off this team, I say, okay, go ahead, take one. Anthony Evans, I'd be sad to lose him, but go ahead, take him. We can probably find some guys. I don't know that we have the guys to replace a Dylan Bell. And so I think I got to keep him on the team. But I think it more so speaks to my confidence in more offensive linemen rather than less. And so
I'm here for it, Daniel.
Yeah.
We're going to come back after this, and we're going to talk about one more start bench cut. $1.99. We're glad you're all here. Thanks for being here.
The $1.99. We missed you.
Bro, we can't wait till season comes back where we start interacting with y'all more. Saturday night.
Interacting with you at a Chili's in downtown Atlanta, Labor Day weekend is where we're going to be interacting with you. I'll tell you that right now.
He's not wrong.
I'm not wrong. Just to be tweeting. Make the reservations. We out here.
Daniel, you got one more start bench cut for me.
Yeah, well, you went with 3 offensive starters, and so I figured,
yep, it's fair.
I'll go with 3 defensive starters.
Here we go.
All right, you ready for this, Clint?
I'm not. Every time you go defensive side of the ball, you make me have feelings I didn't think were there.
He's not ready. Jalen Walker. Warren Brinson.
Okay.
And Julian Humphrey.
Okay.
Start bench cut.
Okay. Well,
just
right
so we're
away.
clear, this is start in real life.
In real life,
we're gonna go start bench cut. Yeah.
Okay. Now this is similar to what I just posed to Daniel, but on the defensive side of the line, if the defensive line is so deep,
I tried to do it. Yeah, exactly.
It's so deep. Then Warren Brinson should be the obvious choice.
Let him go
on the cut block.
Let him go. The most productive returning defensive lineman from last year. Let him go.
I'm telling you right now, he is starting, Daniel.
Whoa.
I knew I was going to shock you with that one.
Wow. I thought I was the Warren Brinson fan on this podcast.
No, I have come around because the more I think about getting back to the defense that we had 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it starts with Warren Brinson is Devontae Wyatt. Okay, y'all remember what? Yep. Y'all remember what Devontae Wyatt did for this defense? Now, you didn't because he was overshadowed by incredible talent elsewhere. But Devontae Wyatt held down his side of the ball beyond admirably. Like, Nakobe Dean is Nakobe Dean because of Devontae Wyatt.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm starting Warren Brinson. I can't let Jordan Hall or Christian Miller or Jarrett. I don't know enough. I know what I'm getting in Warren Brinson.
You do. And you like it.
And I love it. So start there. Now, which leads, this is going to be really wild because I think the ceiling talent, Jalen Walker is the highest ceiling guy of these 3. Warren Brinson is currently the best player of these 3, I think. Highest ceiling, I could be convinced would be Jalen. Daniel, he gone. He gone, which is ridiculous to me. This is now Warren Brinson. I got to have you in the starting lineup. I can't have your rotation. I got to have you up there. Humphreys, look, maybe we can roll with with Harris. I don't know. Maybe we can
put the freshman in there.
Maybe we put Robinson in there and he is fine. So I need to have a third option in that case. I do think we're going to see rotation at the cornerback position. I think Ellis Robinson does play himself into a role this season. I don't doubt that at all. So I'm going to bench Humphreys, which means I'm letting Jalen Walker, the guy who on third down is screaming off the edge, adding pressure, the guy who can play middle linebacker, could play with his hand in the dirt or up, the guy who is in blitz packages, busting up the A gap and doing incredible work. Yes, that guy, because I think we have the replaceable parts for him. We don't have the replaceable parts for a third cornerback in Humphreys. And I don't think we have another Warren Brinson on this defensive line. So I have to get the most talent in the positions of need we have the most. I think Jalen Walker we can replace. Daniel, where did I go wrong?
Well, you had me up until you said that Jalen Walker had the highest ceiling of the three. And I really think you're actually, I could see where your brain was thinking when you said that, because you're thinking about Jalen Walker cross-training multiple positions, being an inside linebacker. Jalen Walker not playing no inside linebacker this year, y'all. Come on. Like, they're just too many really talented guys.
When we say inside linebacker, what we mean is he's coming on an A-gap blitz.
Well, that's it. He'll do that. Now, what I would say about Jalen Walker is that he's not the upside guy in this three. Jalen Walker's the proven commodity. Of all the guys I just said, you know exactly what you're going to get out of Jalen Walker, and there's nobody on this team that does it like he does it. There's Michael Williams, has had flashes. Maybe. He's shown us some things, but then he's also just gone and disappeared for whole large chunks of time. There's nobody that gets after the quarterback on this roster like Jalen Walker. I don't think you can cut him, because I think he's the most proven, irreplaceable commodity on this team. And so I think I don't hate the idea of putting Warren Brinson in the starting lineup, but I would probably have to let Julio go, as much as I would hate to do that, because I can't lose Jalen Walker. I can't lose the pressure on the quarterback. I know the back end is an area of perceived weakness for this team.
It is.
But there's nothing that is more important than A, stopping the run, Warren Brinson, B, getting after the quarterback, Jalen Walker. And so I will take my chances on the back end if I know I can stop the run and I can get after the quarterback. I'm going to guess that Ellis Robinson and Gabe Harris and those DBs won't have to cover for very long. And so maybe we'll be okay there.
You know, maybe we're going to do another episode. We need an episode of just outlandish predictions where we try to piss people off.
We usually don't have to try very hard to piss people off, Clint. I mean, have you been to the comment section? By the way, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and drop us a comment. Let us know in what ways we are idiots, and you can do a much better job
today.
Yeah, let us know. We'll add it to the list.
We'll add it to the list. He is Daniel. I am Clint. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part Locked On Podcast. I'm your team every day. We'll see y'all next time.
See ya.